Time of flight 2036. Time of flight 2036. Quiz 2036. A car is found in the lake at the position shown. So that's the pink spot here. And where is the pink spot? At point R. A car is found in the lake at the position shown. What is the approximate time of flight? Distance, vertical, from P to Q is 35.6. So we are given the vertical distance. That means what? The vertical distance. So the car is vertically 35.6 meters below the starting point. So that's all we are given. Assume constant g equal to negative 9.8 meters per second. Positive x is defined as 2 to the right. Positive y is vertically up. So is it A, 5 seconds? Or is it B, 2.6954 seconds? Or is it C, 3.63 seconds? We are given the vertical displacement. All right, so we put our origin here. We put our origin at point P. We are given the vertical displacement. So let's start there. Vertical displacement is change in y, and that is y final minus y initial. Y final is the position, the vertical position of point R minus the vertical position at point P. The vertical position at point R is 35.6 meters below 0. So it is negative 35.6. Vertical position at point P is 0. So what do we get? Negative 35.6. And what else do we know? We know that delta y is equal to v0 y t plus 1/2 acceleration along the vertical times t squared. Vertical, y is for vertical. So delta y is equal to v0 y t plus 1/2 et squared. At point P, we are 100% along the horizontal. So because of that reason, this whole thing is equal to 0. So what are we left with? 1/2. What is the acceleration along the vertical? It is negative 9.8 meters per second. Do we know the time to go from point P to point Q? No. So we just keep it as the unknown. Please don't forget, it is square of t. So t squared. So we equate these two, and what do we get? Negative 35.6 equals negative 1/2. Negative 35.6 equal to negative 1/2, 9.8 t squared. Negative and negative cancels. So what do we get? Multiply both sides by 2. So you get 2 times 35.6. And that is equal to 9.8 t squared. So what do we get for t squared? 2 times 35.6 divided by 9.8. How do we solve for time? Square root of 2 times 35.6. The whole thing divided by 9.8. So because of the t squared term, we will have a plus solution and a minus solution, but we ignore the negative solution. All right, so that's what I did here. Initial position, 0. Final position, negative 35.6. So what is change in y? Negative 35.6 minus 0. So we get negative 35.6. What does negative mean? It means that the final vertical position is below the initial starting point. This is our point. So how far is this point below the origin along the vertical? Is 35.6 meters below the origin. That is the reason why we say it as negative 35.6. Along the vertical, we know that the initial velocity is equal to 0 because we are given the figure. The car is going horizontal initially. So because of that reason, initial vertical velocity is equal to 0. There is no vertical velocity at the start. After the launch, vertical velocity picks up in speed. Let t be the time it takes to reach the point R. Acceleration along the vertical is equal to negative 9.8 meters per second. Acceleration is a constant. So we use equations of kinematics. And what do we know? change in y is equal to v0yt plus 1/2 at squared. Please don't forget, this is all along the vertical. Vertical displacement is negative 35.6. We know the vertical velocity at the start, 0. We don't know what time is, but we know the vertical acceleration is negative 9.8 meters per second per second. We substitute all those numbers. What is change in y? Negative 35.6. Do not forget, initial velocity along the vertical is 0. Acceleration along the vertical is negative 9.8 meters per second per second. Why? Positive x is defined as to the right, positive y is vertically up. So you substitute 0 and you get negative 35.6 is equal to negative 1/2 9.8 t squared. So you get t squared is equal to 7.2653. Time is square root of 7.2653. So you get plus or minus 2.6954. Why? We had t to the power of 2. And that's the reason why we have both plus and minus. We ignore negative solutions for time because negative time does not exist. So we go with 2.6954 seconds. Your success matters to us. So for myself and for my dad, I'm signing off. Good luck.